Hello, wizards, witches, and everyone in between. My name is Emma, and welcome to another very impromptu and random video. So I just found out that they released the first 11 minutes of the audiobook for The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Apparently they released it 9 hours ago, but I just found out right now. So we're gonna listen to it. As always, if you don't want to be spoiled, obviously don't watch this video, but we're going to listen to the first 11 minutes and then talk about it. The first part is obviously what we already heard, so I'm going to go ahead and skip towards where the last little excerpt they gave us left off at.
He thought of people putting a price on her. With her long pointed nose and skinny body, Tigress was no great beauty, but she had a sweetness, a vulnerability that invited abuse. She would find takers if she had a mind to. The idea made him feel sick and helpless, and consequently disgusted with himself. From deep in the apartment, he heard the recording of the capital anthem, Gem of Panem, kick on. His grandmother's tremulous soprano voice joined in, bouncing off the walls. Gem of Panem, mighty city, through the ages you shine anew. As always, she was painfully off-key and slightly behind tempo. The first year of the war, she played the recording on national holidays for 5-year-old Coriolanus and 8-year-old Tigress in order to build their sense of patriotism. The daily recital hadn't begun until that black day when the district rebels had surrounded the capital, cutting it off from supplies for the remaining 2 years of the war. Remember, children, she'd say, we are but besieged. We have not surrendered. Then she would warble the anthem out of the penthouse window as the bombs rained down. Her small act of defiance. We humbly kneel to your ideal, and the note she could never quite hit, and pledge our love to you. Coriolanus winced a little. For a decade now, though the rebels had been silent, his grandmother had not. There were still 2 verses to go. Gem of
I love Snow's grandma, and I love that she is like singing the Gem of Panem super off-key. It's really interesting that she played that song a lot for him and Tigress when they were younger. She's interesting.
Panem, heart of justice, wisdom crowns your marble brow. He wondered if more furniture might absorb some of the sound, but the question was academic. At present, their penthouse apartment was a microcosm of the capital itself, bearing the scars of the relentless rebel attacks. The 20-foot-high walls were veined with cracks. The molded ceiling was dotted with holes from missing chunks of plaster, and ugly black strips of electrical tape held in place the broken glass of the arched windows that looked out over the city. Throughout the war and the decade that followed, the family had been forced to sell or trade many of its possessions, so that some rooms were entirely empty and closed off, and the others sparsely furnished at best. Even worse, during the bitter cold of the siege's final winter, several elegant carved wooden pieces and innumerable volumes of books had been sacrificed to the fireplace to keep the family from freezing to death.
Okay, that's interesting. So during the war, they had to sell a lot of their furniture, and so a lot of the rooms in their like penthouse are empty, and then a lot of their books they had to use to build fire to keep warm in the winter.
Over with his mother, reduced to ashes, had never failed to bring him to tears.
Damn, that's sad. So he had to watch his picture books burn that he had like fond memories of reading with his mother when he was a kid.
But better off sad than dead. Having been in his friends' apartments, Coriolanus knew that most families had begun to repair their homes, but the Snows could not even afford a few yards of linen for a new shirt. He thought of his classmates, rifling through their closets or slipping into their newly tailored suits, and wondered just how long he could keep up appearances. You give us light, you reunite, to you we make our vow. If Tigress's revamped shirt was unwearable, what was he to do? Fake the flu and call in sick? Spineless. Soldier through in his uniform shirt? Respectful. Squeeze into the red button-down that he had outgrown 2 years ago? Poor. Acceptable option? None of the above. Perhaps Tigress had gone to ask help from her employer, Fabricia Whatnot, a woman as ridiculous as her name, but with a
So Tigress's employer's name is Fabricia Whatnot. That's a 10 out of 10 name.
A woman as ridiculous as her name, but with a certain talent for derivative fashion. Whether the trend was feathers or leathers, plastics or plush, she could find a way to incorporate it at a reasonable rate. Not much of a student, Tigress had forgone university when she graduated from the academy to pursue her dream of becoming a designer. She was supposed to be an apprentice, although Fabricia used her more as slave labor, requiring her to give foot massages and clean clumps of her long magenta hair from the drains. But Tigress never complained and would hear no criticism of her boss. So pleased and grateful was she to have a position in fashion. Gem of Panem, seat of power, strength in peacetime, shield in strife. Coriolanus opened the refrigerator, hoping for something to lighten up the cabbage soup. The sole occupant was a metal saucepan. When he removed the lid, a mush of congealed, shredded potatoes stared back at him. Had his grandmother finally made good her threat of learning to cook? Was the stuff even edible? He replaced the lid until he had more information to work with. What a luxury it would be to toss it in the trash without a second thought. What a luxury trash would be. He remembered, or thought he did, being very small and watching garbage trucks operated by Avoxes. Tongueless workers made the best workers, or so his grandmother said, humming down the streets, emptying large bags of discarded food, containers, worn household items. Then came the time when nothing was disposable. No salary unwanted.
That's interesting. So Avoxes were the garbage men, which we kind of get that in Mockingjay with Pollux, being forced to work underground. So because they can't speak, Avoxes kind of get the types of jobs that fancy people in the capital wouldn't deign to do. But then it's saying, that trash is a luxury because after that, there was a point where, people had to save everything. There wasn't any excess of anything, which is a very, kind of humbling thing to think about.
No item unable to be traded or burned for heat or tucked against a wall for insulation. Everyone had learned to despise waste. It was creeping back into fashion, though. A sign of prosperity, like a decent shirt. Protect our land with armored hand. The shirt. His mind could fixate on a problem like that, anything really, and not let go. As if controlling one element of his world would keep him from ruin. It was a bad habit that blinded him to other things that could harm him. A tendency toward obsession was hardwired into his brain, and would likely be his undoing if he couldn't learn to outsmart it. His grandmother's voice squeaked out the final crescendo. Our capital, our life. Crazy old woman, still clinging to the pre-war days. He loved her, but she'd lost touch with reality years ago. Every meal, she'd rattle on about the snow's legendary grandeur, even when their fare consisted of watery bean soup and stale crackers. And to hear her tell it, it was a given that his future would be glorious. When Coriolanus is president, she often began, when Coriolanus is president, everything from the rickety Capitol Air Force to the exorbitant price of pork chops would be magically corrected. Thank goodness the broken elevator and her arthritic knees prevented her from going out much, and her infrequent visitors were as fossilized as she. The cabbage began to boil.
So his grandma is kind of, we know that she's like stuck in the pre-war days type of mindset, and she believes in her grandson. She is like, when Coriolanus is president, which we all know how that turns out. So that's interesting. Also, it touched a little bit on the fact that he's very obsessive and he'll like fixate on one thing, which I also think is definitely a trait that we see in the Hunger Games trilogy. So, yes.
Filling the kitchen with the smell of poverty, Coriolanus jabbed at it with a wooden spoon. Still no tigress. Soon it would be too late to call and make an excuse. Everyone would have assembled at the Academy's Heavensby Hall. They would be angered.
So the Academy has a place called Heavensby Hall, which is like Plutarch Heavensby. So that must be one of Plutarch's relatives had a hall named after him. I like that.
To deal with, as well as disappointment from his communications professor, Satyria Click, who had campaigned for him to receive one of the 24 coveted mentorships in the Hunger Games. Besides being Satyria's favorite, he was her teaching aide, and doubtless she would need him for something today. She could be unpredictable, especially when she'd been drinking, and that was a given on the day of the reaping. He'd better call and warn her, say he couldn't stop vomiting, or something, but would do his best to recover. He steeled himself and picked up the phone to plead dire illness when another thought hit him. If he failed to show, would she allow them to replace him as a mentor? And if she did, would that weaken his chance for one of the Academy prizes presented at graduation? Without such a prize, he had no way to afford to go to university, which meant no career, which meant no future. Not for him, and who knew what would happen to the family? And the front door, warped and complaining, scraped open.
So we definitely can see a lot of personality traits in him that we, are developed by the time we get to the Hunger Games. Obviously, he's old in that series. He seems like a hardcore Slytherin. He's very ambitious, and you can tell that he hates being poor. And he seems very ungrateful and very judgmental and not a good person. I'm interested to see if we're gonna sympathize with him at parts. I'm assuming we will. Just from the beginning, you can tell he's not a likable person already, and he doesn't have the greatest personality, even at this young age. So, yeah. The first 11 minutes, that's a really random amount of time, and, I definitely think the first little excerpt we got had a lot more of like, wait, what? But I don't know, I wanted to kind of record this even just for my own like prosperity, to remember, all this stuff leading up to this book coming out, because I'm very, very excited. I still can't believe we're getting a new book. Let me know what you guys think about the new book. Are you excited? Are you nervous? What are your thoughts? What are your plans? Are you gonna read it the day it comes out? Are you gonna read the ebook? Are you audiobooking it? Let me know all the things. I do kind of wish that audiobook narrator had more inflection in his voice. He seemed kind of deadpanned, but I don't know. I'm not planning on audiobooking it anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but I was hoping for a little bit more like pizzazz in his voice. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this really random video, and I will see you next time. Bye!